वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। प्रभुपाद की जय। माता जी, शुड आई सिंग ओ है वैष्णव ठाकुर?
हाँ सर।
प्लीज माता जी। ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर एदासे करुणा करी। ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर एदासे करुणा करी। दिया पद छाया शोधे आमाया তোমার চরণ ধরি। क्षय बेग दोमी क्षय दोष शोधी क्षय गुण देहो दासे। क्षय শত সঙ্গ দেহ হে আমারে বসেছি সঙ্গের আসে। একাকী আমার নাহি পায় বল হরি নাম সংকীর্তনে। তুমি কৃপা করি শ্রদ্ধা বিন্দু দিয়া তুমি কৃপা করি শ্রদ্ধা বিন্দু দিয়া দেহ কৃষ্ণ নাম ধনে। কৃষ্ণ সে তোমার কৃষ্ণ দিতে পারো তোমার শক্তি আছে। আমি তো কাঙ্গাল কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ বলি ধাই তব পাছে পাছে। ও হে বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর দয়ার সাগর এ দাসে করুণা করি। जय वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर। वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर। जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा। प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताय गौर हरि बोल। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
Sixth chapter 119. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told the story about the Leela. Told the Leela about Krishna bringing back the 6 sons of Devi. Now, further it said, Na bujiya ninde tandra charitra aghad paya o Vishnu bhakti bhaya taravad. Sixth chapter 119 Chaitanya Bhagavat. If a person does not and understand Nityananda Prabhu, blasphemes his unfathomable characteristics, then his advancement will be checked, even if he has attained devotional service to Vishnu. If a person does not understand Nityananda Prabhu, Balaram, Guru Tattva, and though he may be a devotee of Lord, but his his advancement in devotional service will be checked. Chala vipratumi shigra navadipaya. यही कथा कही तुम्ही सबारे बुझाओ. O Brahmana, go quickly to Navadip. Explain these topics so that everyone will understand. So this all is told in Jagannath Puri. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling this to Brahmana, and now he's telling, go to Navadip. There, Nityananda Prabhu is performing leelas, and there may be people like you who may not understand his glories. So go to Navadip and make them understand. Pache tanre keha kona rupe ninda kare. If anyone blasphemes him in any way, tabe ara raksha kara nahi yama ghare. Then what will happen? What will be the consequences? He will not escape the punishment of Yamaraj. Ye tahare priti kare se kore amara. Satya 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 vipra kahila tumhare. One who loves me loves me. Oh Brahmana, I tell you, this is the truth, 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 3 times. What is the truth? Even if you love me, but you blaspheme Nityananda Prabhu, then one cannot escape the punishment of Yamaraj. Madira Yavani Yadi Nityananda Dhare, Tathapi Brahmara, Vandya Kahila Tomare. Even if Nityananda goes to a liquor house or associates with an outcast girl, he is worshipable for Brahma, even though it may seem that he is having liquor in the hand. Balaram used to drink liquor and he used to associate with all the gopis. His set of gopis were different. Here it is said, even if Nityananda Prabhu associates with an outcast girl, at least the gopis are coming in the Vaishya community, cowherd community, outcast. Even if he is associating with a Shudra outcast, still he is worshipped by Brahma. So one who has great love for the lotus feet of Guru and Vaishnava is extremely dear to the Supreme Lord. It is impossible for a person who has no love for the lotus feet of Guru and Vaishnava to attain Krishna's mercy. Love for one's fellow human beings and service to the conditioned souls cannot attract the Supreme Lord's love. The conditional knowledge of living entity is dispelled only by the influence of service to Guru and Vaishnava. As a result of the knowledge of one's relationship to Krishna that the spiritual master imparts in their ears, the conditional soul develops love for Sri Guru, Hari Guru, and Vaishnava and engage in the eternal service. On that platform, the spirit of material enjoyment cannot attack them.
ये
The
क्या
taste
अभी
of
मंडे मंडे से राधा रानी के
Sandhani
ऊपर
Prabhu, mute yourself.
प्रवचन शुरू है
Sandhani
राधा
Prabhu,
अष्टमी है ना
the
मंडे को
class, here to the class, don't talk at the time. On that platform, the spirit of material knowledge, enjoyment cannot attract them. The taste that sinful people develop by accepting misconceptions about so-called gurus and the Supreme Lord, the original shelter, is completely separate from the eternal truth and is and simply illusion. That is why Sri Gaur Sundar used the word Satya 3 times. If duplicitous so-called gurus accept this teaching of the Supreme Lord in a perverted way and use it to accumulate ingredients for their own sense gratification, then such so-called gurus will fall with their disciples into hell forever and never return. So the so-called gurus in the market, those who proclaim themselves as associates of Lord, sometimes they call themselves as God. Such people cannot misuse this statement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They cannot just accumulate things for their sense gratification. So there is something known as understanding in a real way and understanding in a perverted way, completely changing the whole meaning. So here it is said, the knowledge which is given in the ears by the spiritual master makes a person serve Krishna very nicely. That is how Brahma Gayatri is given. There are 7 Gayatris, Guru Gayatri, Brahma Gayatri, Gaura Gayatri. So in this way, the Gayatris are given in this way. The person is made, is given the qualification to serve Krishna. Gruniyad Yavani Panim Vishedva Saundikalayam Tathapi Brahmano Vandayam Nityananda Padambujam. Whether Sri Nityananda accepts the hand of a woman or enters a liquor shop, his lotus feet are still worshipable by even Brahma. This is a statement given by Krishna himself. Sunina Prabhura Vakya Sukruti Brahmana Parama Ananda Yukta Hailat Akkana. After hearing the Lord's words, the fortunate Brahmana became filled with ecstasy. Nityananda Prati Bada Janmila Vishwasa. He developed such a wonderful faith towards Nityananda Prabhu. And then thereafter the Brahmana, he returned to his residence in Navadvip. Sei Bhagyavanta Vipra Asi Navadvipa Sarvadya Aila Nityanandera Samipe. After returning to Navadvip, that fortunate Brahmana first went to see Nityananda. So sometimes we may try to analyze our spiritual master in a materialistic way. Like sometimes a spiritual master may have some chocolates. So immediately we may criticize or we may think in it. We may not express, but we may think, why is he having chocolates in his hand? Somebody must have given. They distribute it. So such type of thoughts against the spiritual master should not come. When the spiritual master gives, immediately you should honor it. At that time, you should not say, no, I don't eat chocolates. A spiritual master is one who is devotee of Krishna. Spiritual master is one who follows Guru Shishya Parampara. Spiritual master is one who is always engaged in the preaching activities. For that, he never sees his comfort zone. He may be in a comfort zone, he may not be in a comfort zone, his health may be good, his health may not be good, but in all the circumstances, a spiritual master is not bothered about his health. He's always bothered about how to preach in every circumstances, like Srila Prabhupada, even at the last stages in his earthly planet. For 1 month, he was just dictating, taking only Charanamrit of Radha Shamsundar. So in this way, in the holy land of Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada, before leaving his body, he was just dictating, he was meeting people, he was talking to them. Practically, he was like a skeleton, nothing was there. But still, they are not bothered about their comforts. They are not even bothered about giving up the body. But they are, yes, they are very much responsible. They themselves consider responsible to give this in the right hands. For that, they strive hard by teaching their very close disciples. In this way, the Guru Parampara is wants to protect. The Guru Parampara is always eager to protect the teachings and give in the right hands. So here it is said, after returning to Navadvip, that fortunate Brahmana first went to see Nityananda Prabhu, because he has been thinking wrong about him. So atonement has to be done. And what is the real atonement? You go and ask forgiveness to the person whom you have ridiculed even in your thought process. Sei Bhagavanta Viprasi Navadipe Sarvadya Aila Nityanandera Samipe. And what to do? One should, if somebody does like these offenses, even in the level of mind, leave aside in the level of body, the level of words, even at the level of mind, if I have thought something wrong about my superiors, I should confess it. And that is how that confession should be within from the heart. Not that you confess again do the mistake, again confess, again do the mistake. No. Akaitave kahilena nija aparadha Prabhu o shunina talve karila prasada. For this Brahmana, he went and he admitted his offense without duplicity. One is just a lip work. Oh, please forgive me. Dandavat pranam, humble obeisances. Palm home, please accept my humble obeisances. There is no humility but saying humble obeisances. It should not be duplicitous. It should not be just I do it for the sake of doing. It should be from the heart. That is why non-duplicitous confession. If I have done some mistake, non-duplicitous confession. Very important. And Nityananda Prabhu, then what he did, he bestowed mercy onto him. Prabhu Shunina Tangre Karila Prasad. Do you think our superiors will not understand when we mockingly do some confession? Our superiors have the chakshu, jnana chakshu. They have the jnana chakshu to understand what is going on in our heart. That much Vyasa empowers. He empowers a person who is in the parampara, following the teachings of his guru and the parampara very systematically. And the jnana chakshu is given, and with that jnana chakshu, he can understand what is going on in others' heart. Sometimes he may not express, but sometimes he will express. Nothing can be hidden. That is why you see many times when the lecture is going on, one may feel it is told for me. And I used to go to Gopinath temple to hear the class. I used to go to Meera Road also. Sometimes I used to feel this is for me. How? How it comes? It comes because of the Jnana Chakshu of the spiritual master who is sitting on the Vyasasana, empowered by Vyasa, and he reveals whatever is required for that person in that assembly. Teachings will be common for everyone, but for whoever it is concerned, it barabar goes and hits them. And that is how the arrows, like arrows, are thrown to whoever it has to be shot. That person then understands. So in this way, Jnana Chakshu is given to the spiritual master by Vedavyasa, who is Krishna himself, literally incarnation of Krishna himself, situated as Paramatma in everyone's heart. Hena Nityananda Swarupera Vivahara Veda Bhuya Loka Bhaya Yahara Achara. Such is the behavior of Nityananda Swarupa. His dealings are incomprehensible to the even Vedas also and ordinary people also. One cannot understand his Vedas, incomprehensible. You cannot measure, you cannot understand. Even the Vedas cannot understand, then what to speak about the common people like us. Paramarthi Nityananda Parama Yogendra Yandre Kahi Adideva Dharani Dharendra. According to spiritual consideration, Nityananda is supreme among the best of the mystic yogis. He is known as Adideva, sustainer of all universes. Sahasravadana Nitya Shuddha Kalevara. Sahasravadana. He has thousands of hoods, thousands of hoods. And his body is eternally pure. Chaitanyera Kripa Vina Janite Dushkar. One can understand him without, no one can understand him without the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. That means to understand Guru, Krishna's mercy is required. To understand Krishna, Guru's mercy is required. Yasya prasadat Bhagavat prasad. Yasya prasadan nagati kutopi. Because of your mercy, I have got Krishna's service. And nobody can estimate your mercy. Nobody can even measure the mercy of Guru. Keha bole Nityananda yena balarama. Keha bole ni Chaitanya re Chaitanyera vada priya dhama. Some people say Nityananda is like Bharata. Others say he is most dear to Lord Chaitanya. Some say Keha bole Mahateji Amshadhikari. Some say he is powerful plenary portion of the Lord, Supreme Lord. Keha bole Kona Rupe Bhujitena Pari. Others say we cannot understand anything about him. Kiba Jiva Nityananda Kiba Bhakta Yani Yanra Yena Maha Mata Icha Na Balaye Keni. Someone may say, consider Nityananda an ordinary living entity. Someone may say, oh, he is a devotee. Someone may consider him a jnani. They may say whatever they like. ये से केने चैतन्येन नित्यानंदन हे तान पादपद्म मूर रमुक हृदय. Even if Nityananda was the most insignificant servant of Lord Chaitanya, still I would keep his lotus feet in my heart. So even if he is considered as an insignificant servant, then also it is said, I will consider him, I'll keep him in his heart. So in this way, Nityananda Prabhu, who is not different from Balram, who is not different from Krishna, has to be understood in a proper way. Say Amara Prabhu, Ami Janma Janma Dasa, Sabara Charane, Morayi Abhilasha. He is my master, and I am his servant, birth after birth. This is my aspiration at the feet of everyone. So last verse. Eta parihariyo ye papi ninda kare tabe lathi maru. Shirera. Therefore I kick the head of any person who disregards the glories of Lord Nityananda and dares to criticize him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I kick him. The Hari Bhakti Kalpa Latika 2.46 it is stated, Na sahante satam nindam api sarva sahishnavah कामयन्ते न किमपि सदा सदा दास्याभिलाषिनः. Although the devotees are tolerant, they cannot tolerate the blasphemy of other devotees. Always desiring Lord Krishna's service, they do not desire anything else. Hari Bhakti Kalpalatika 3.51 stated, Bhavadasye Kamakruda Apitava Nindaka Pratijane तव त्वच्चिष्टे लभो यदि भवति मोहो भवति च तदीयत्वे मानस्तव चरण पाथो च मधुना मनश्चेत् अस्माभिर्नियतः षड् अमित्रैरपि जितम्. O Lord, if we become lusty to attain your devotional service, angry at those who blaspheme you, greedy to accept food, flowers, and other things offered to you, enchanted by you, proud to identify as a devotee, intoxicated by drinking the honey of your lotus feet, then we may easily defeat the lust, anger, greed, enchantment, pride, and intoxication that are our enemies. There are 6 enemies: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mad, Matsaryata. But if they are all used in Krishna's service, then we can easily defeat all these materialistic vices which are actually not making us progress in devotional service. How many verses are there? Just few verses will complete this chapter. Amara Prabhura, Prabhu Shri Gaura Sundara, Ye Bada Bharasa, Ami Dhariya Antar. Shri Gaura Sundar is the Lord of my Lord. I always keep this conviction in my heart. He is the Lord of my Lord. Now he is the Lord. Of whose Lord? My Lord is, my Guru is my Lord. Nityananda Prabhu is my Lord. He is the Lord of my Lord. Ena dina haive ki Chaitanya Nityananda dekhi bhaveshtita chaturudike bhakta vrinda. Will that day ever come when I may see Lord Chaitanya Nityananda in the midst of their devotees? Jai 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 Mahaprabhu Gaurachandra Dilao Milao Tumi Prabhu Nityananda. All glories to you, Lord Gaurachandra. Kindly give me the shelter of Nityananda Prabhu and allow me to meet him. तथापि यही कृपा कर गौर हरि नित्यानंद संगे यन तुमाना पाशवी. O Gaur Hari, I further pray that even after gaining Lord Nityananda's association, I may never forget your lotus feet. This is also again important. Sakshat Daritvena Samasta Shastra. So you treat your Guru as your God. One should do that. At the same time, one should not forget that he is in the mood of serving Lord. His Aradhya Bhagavan is Krishna. किंतु प्रभोर्याप्येव सत्प्रियेव तस्य वंदे गुरु श्री चरणारविंद. Nityananda is Guru Tattva. It's not proper for the Lord's devotees to have any relationship with those who associate with any artistic envious of Nityananda, whose body is not different from Krishna. The qualification to serve the lotus feet of the spiritual master diminishes by the influence of bad association. Therefore, one should never act in a way that will disrupt remembrance of one's spiritual master, who is unalloyed eternal servant of Gausunda, and whose body is not different from Sri Gausunda. Those who use spiritual life for material gain are not devotees but servants of sense gratification. A so-called devotee and a devotee have complete a so-called devotee and a devotee have completely opposite characteristics. That is why it is very unfortunate to consider those who indulge in materialistic association as members of a spiritual society. When one invites his own destruction, he becomes deprived of spiritual life and considers the spiritual master, who is non-different from Nityananda, as separate from Nityananda, the Prakasha Vigraha of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Such people can never attain the service of Sri Gaurasundar. They suffer perpetually because of disrespecting their Guru. The path currently pursued by some completely duplicitous so-called devotees opposed to Sri Gaudiya Math will result in inauspiciousness. That is why the devotees are greatly distressed to see their impending inauspiciousness. यथा यथा तुम्ही दुई कर अवतार तथा तथा दास्य मोर how अधिकार. May I achieve the qualification to become your servant wherever the two of you incarnate. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chanda Jana Vrindavan Dasa Chupada Yuge Ghan. Accepting Shri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I Vrindavan Das sing the glories of the lotus feet. Thus ends the English translation of the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary on Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Antya Khanda, chapter 6, entitled The Glories of Nityananda. What a fortune just seen. Samvit Shakti, Sandhini Shakti has been described. Now comes Hiladini Shakti, that is Srimati Radharani, and whose potency, with her potency, is Gadadhar Pandit. Who is Gadadhar? He is the Radharani herself, who has come to see whether the leela done by Chaitanya is perfect or not. Because Krishna has done the leela taking the mood of Radharani. So naturally, the role should be done in a proper way. That is why Gadadhar Pandit comes. Am I right? Am I right or wrong?
Yes, Mataji, very right.
So now, next week, what we are going to have? Full consciousness about Sri Radhashtami. So in Sri Radhashtami, we are going to discuss all the pastimes of Radharani, which has been very nicely put in Radharani book. So that is why Gadadhar Pandit's blessings are required. And the 7th chapter is pastimes in Sri Gadadhar's garden. So the book is speaking. Yes, we have always seen Vrindavan Das Thakur blesses us. In every festival, it has been observation that Vrindavan Das Thakur blesses us, and books are persons. Understand it very nicely. It is not just a book. Book is a person. Every verse is Krishna himself. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavan. Who is Gadadhar Pandit? Radharani herself appears to check whether Chaitanya is performing Leela properly or not. So we'll be describing about Radharani's glories, and then we'll see how Radharani appears in Chaitanya Leela, and we'll discuss the next other week about the pastimes in Gadadhar's garden. Okay. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. वैष्णववृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. So chant nicely, come closer to Krishna. There's a nice video which was been put by Vijay Arvabdan Prabhu. Why I cry? Why tears come? Why a devotee cries? Because Krishna makes him feel that he's closer to him. So chant more. Without that, any amount of yogas or any amount of jnanas is not going to work. Chant, chant. Minimum 16 rounds. Chant, chant attentively. Most important. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, one realization, may I share?
Yes.
Whenever I get any question in my mind, मुझे कोई भी क्वेश्चन आता है और मुझे आंसर मिल ही जाता है अगले लेक्चर में. It happened so many times, Mataji.
Vyasa is the Kala Drishti, Vyasa is Paramatma himself. He knows and he speaks. Whoever is speaker, the speaker is empowered by Vyasa. And that is how the arrows, they come and touch us. Okay. So I request now the callers to give a nice call to everyone and see that in Janmashtami, not a single devotee misses. Sorry, Radhashtami, no one should miss. Even Sunday programs, Sunday morning class, if we are not able to come in the evening, Sunday afternoon class, nobody should miss any class. Options are given for the 3 classes. Sunday Love Feast is there. Sunday evening class at Kashinath is there. Sunday evening class at our Jagannath Devasthana is there. Come, walk, come. It's most important. Hare Krishna.